Today, we are in conversation with Mr. Alake, who is the Honorable Commissioner for Innovation, Science and Technology for Lagos State in Nigeria. With more than 21 million inhabitants, Lagos is Africa's most populous city and home to nearly 90% of Nigeria's startups. Mr. Alake is the main policy leader responsible in Lagos for driving innovation and entrepreneurship to ever greater levels, which will accelerate Lagos's progress towards becoming an innovation hub. Let's dive into Mr. Alake's insights on the prevailing trends and opportunities in Lagos. Welcome, Mr. Alake, and many thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
For those listeners who haven't been to Lagos, it's a very thriving and bustling entrepreneurial place. Could you just give us a sense of this?
Lagos is the commercial nerve center. It is the capital of economic activity in Lagos, has the headquarters of various industries from manufacturing to telecoms, banking and finance, and of course, technology and innovation. And so Lagos State is a huge hub for economic activity in Nigeria. About 25% of the GDP of Nigeria resides in Lagos. And so things like having a huge market is one of the big advantages that Lagos offers to would-be entrepreneurs that are able to create new ideas, that are able to create new products and services. So Lagos offers that huge market, that huge purchasing power. Its GDP per capita is about 3 times the national average. And so there are a lot of elements that make Lagos State a huge, thriving economic and innovation capital on the sub-Saharan African continent.
Yeah, thank you very much. And what would be some of the 2 to 3 most recent, startups that you've met or ideas, that you've seen? Again, I mean, give us a sense of your day-to-day innovation thrive.
So, a number of innovation companies have come out of Lagos. You mentioned correctly earlier, about 90% of innovation activity in Nigeria happens in Lagos. And so when you look at the fintech industry, Lagos has a very, very huge fintech sector. Fintech represents about 40 to 45% of the startup ecosystem in Lagos, and by extension, Nigeria. So fintech is a huge deliverer of services across Lagos and across Nigeria. Agricultural tech is also a huge growing sector, as well as e-commerce. Retail is also the services sector. The retail services sector is also a huge growing area. And so when you hear companies like Flutterwave, that is now a Pan-African fintech unicorn that started in Lagos and is now delivering services across the African continent. This company is a testament to the ingenuity, the creativity, and the scale that the Lagos environment can offer to entrepreneurs and to would-be innovation enthusiasts to be able to grow their businesses. When you look at companies like OmniBiz in the retail and logistics space that are now growing in Africa, this is another company that we've seen that has grown right here from Lagos. And when you look at companies like InterSwitch, OPay, also in fintech, these are companies that some of them have passed the $1 billion mark, have scaled successfully, were all started in Lagos. And the entrepreneurial activity and all of the factors that Lagos brings to offer is the reason why a lot of these companies are successful.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Now, I have been told you want to go further and that you have developed a vision for the Lagos innovation system. Do you want to tell us the 2 to 3 main points or your main plans for the near future?
Absolutely. We have innovation and technology master plan that we formulated some time ago that seeks to deliver on doubling the rate of innovation in Lagos. And this innovation and technology master plan rests on multiple pillars. From an infrastructure pillar, where you look at providing the enabling infrastructure, whether it is internet access, infrastructure deployment, fiber optic cables, rapid prototyping labs, things that would enable entrepreneurs and creators to start their business. That infrastructure is very important. And over the past 36 months, we have deployed over 2,700 kilometers of fiber optic cable across Lagos State, connecting different points of interest from schools to hospitals to government buildings. The infrastructure is very, very important for democratization and access to resources for entrepreneurs. And so that's a major pillar of our vision. Another major pillar is talent and funding. When we realize that for innovation to thrive, you must have a robust talent base. And so we have intervened in training digital skills across the market. Our sister agency, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, has implemented training for over 35,000 beneficiaries in digital skills across different sectors of the economy. They've also done quite a bit of funding for small businesses particularly in technology and innovation. The funding pillar is quite interesting because, I mentioned earlier that it's important that we are able to help de-risk the innovation process at the very bottom. And so through our Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council, this is a council that is responsible for managing the Innovation Fund of Lagos State. We've been able to fund about 60 successful startups over the past 24 months in areas such as fintech, agri-tech, construction tech, circular economy, and environmental science. And we've also funded about 70 R&D initiatives over the past 24 months as well. And so for us, funding is from the perspective of de-risking the initial innovation process. A lot of our entrepreneurs and beneficiaries might not have had access to funding at the initial stage if we weren't doing some of that work. And some of them have gone on to raise bigger checks at the Series A and at the Series B level.
Now, you mentioned the Global Innovation Index earlier. Obviously, in the index, we also assess, not at the regional level, but more at the country level, of course, the strength, of which we heard many, but also some of the opportunities for improvement. What, in your view, for Lagos, but also for Nigeria, are the things that are to be improved slightly for the future?
I think an opportunity for us is to strengthen the coordination between the different innovation nodes in the value chain. So from when an idea is had, how quickly can a creator and an innovator get access to the equipment and the infrastructure to turn that idea into reality in the shortest amount of time? I think that's an opportunity, and that's an opportunity that we are taking very seriously in Lagos.
So where do you see Lagos and Nigeria in 10 years, also in this more globalized innovation ecosystem that you've described?
Absolutely. I see Lagos and Nigeria by extension as a talent hub. And so the idea is that if you're looking for 10 software developers, you would be remiss if you did not look at Lagos, if you did not look at Nigeria. I think that will be a key factor for Nigeria in the coming years. Nigeria as a talent hub for different skills, servicing global companies, servicing global startups, servicing many talent needs across the globe. And of course, in 10 years, we believe that Nigeria would become a creator economy. And so not just an adoption or an adaptive economy, but a creator economy. That's why we're investing quite a bit in R&D and the talent that drives R&D. So a lot of new businesses, new pots of value would be created within this market. And that's where we see ourselves in 10 years, delivering both talent, goods and services to the global markets.
Excellent. Yeah, I look forward to witnessing this myself. Thank you, Mr. Alake. So we're at the end of our short interview. I'm sure that all our listeners will find it highly inspiring to see how your regional innovation ecosystem in Lagos is really driving innovation in Nigeria, but also Africa more broadly. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks everyone for joining us for this discussion. I hope you have gained valuable insights into the innovation journey of Lagos in Nigeria. We hope it serves as important inspiration to all policymakers driving in regional and local innovation systems at the city level worldwide. See you soon.